Who truly commanded the mightiest pen in the world? Was it Shakespeare, the immortal bard of England, whose verses still echo in classrooms and theaters centuries after his death? Or was it Cervantes, the Spanish genius who breathed life into Don Quixote, forever changing the landscape of storytelling? The debate between these two literary titans has raged for generations, pitting Elizabethan drama against Spanish prose, and raising a question that scholars, readers, and dreamers alike still ponder. Who stands taller in the pantheon of world literature, William Shakespeare or Miguel de Cervantes? Two giants, two eras, two cultures, and one question that literary scholars still debate. Who stands taller in the pantheon of world literature, William Shakespeare or Miguel de Cervantes? Their works have become the very pillars of English and Spanish literature, inspiring countless writers, thinkers, and artists. Yet, their legacies are as complex and distinct as the worlds they created, making the contest between them not just a comparison of skill, but of vision, influence, and the very essence of what it means to write. Born just months apart in 1547 and 1564, these two literary titans never met. Yet their destinies seem eerily intertwined. Both lived during turbulent political times, Shakespeare in the shadow of Elizabethan England and the early Stuart period, Cervantes in a Spain shaken by war, religious strife, and economic upheaval. Both changed the way stories were told, turning the written word into a force that could shape nations and the minds of generations. Their lives, though separated by borders and language, mirrored each other in struggle, creativity, and the pursuit of something greater through narrative. Let's start with Shakespeare. The playwright from Stratford-upon-Avon revolutionized theater. His mastery of the English language reshaped drama forever. But what made his pen so powerful? It wasn't just his command of words, but his ability to probe the depths of human nature. Shakespeare turned the stage into a mirror, reflecting the ambitions, fears, hopes, and follies of his audiences. His plays didn't just entertain. They questioned, provoked, and invited the public to ponder what it means to be human. Shakespeare's true weapon was versatility. Tragedies, comedies, histories. He wrote them all. From Hamlet's existential dread to the comic misadventures in A Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare's range was unmatched. He could craft a tragedy so profound it would leave audiences in stunned silence, then turn to comedy and fill the air with laughter. His characters were kings and fools, lovers and schemers, each rendered with such depth that they feel alive even now. Shakespeare's world was vast, his imagination limitless, and his language so inventive that he expanded the very vocabulary of English. Now pivot to Cervantes. A soldier, a tax collector, a prisoner, and ultimately, an author. Cervantes didn't just write stories, he crafted the world's first modern novel, Don Quixote. His life was marked by hardship, a wounded hand, years in captivity, financial struggles. But these trials only sharpened his insight into the human condition. When Cervantes put pen to paper, he didn't merely recount adventures. He dissected dreams, hopes, and the blurred line between reality and imagination. Don Quixote wasn't just a character, he was a revolution. Cervantes mocked chivalric traditions, satirized society, and explored human psychology long before psychology even had a name. Through the mad, noble knight and his loyal squire, Cervantes revealed how stories can shape our perception of the world, and how the pursuit of ideals, however misguided, can be both heroic and tragic. His work didn't just entertain, it questioned the very fabric of reality, inviting readers to laugh, to reflect, and to see themselves in the errant knight's quest. Critics argue that Cervantes' creation of the modern novel outweighs Shakespeare's theatrical innovations. After all, novels dominate modern storytelling. Could this give Cervantes the upper hand? The novel became the literary form of democracy, accessible and adaptable, giving voice to individuals and societies. Cervantes' influence can be traced through the works of Tolstoy, Dickens, Kafka, and countless others. He opened the door for stories that delve into the inner lives of characters, making the novel a vehicle for empathy, introspection, and social commentary. But Shakespeare wasn't just a playwright. His influence permeates poetry, philosophy, and even everyday English. Words and phrases like "break the ice" or "wild goose chase" come from his pages. His sonnets explore love, time, and mortality with a precision that still moves readers today. Shakespeare's genius lies not just in storytelling, but in the way his language has become part of the world's cultural DNA. We speak Shakespeare often without even knowing it. Cervantes, in contrast, enriched the Spanish language so deeply that Spanish speakers often call their language La Lengua de Cervantes, the language of Cervantes. His prose gave Spanish a new rhythm and power, introducing words, expressions, and a sense of irony that forever shaped the language. For Spanish speakers, Cervantes is not just an author, but a national treasure. His work a touchstone for identity and expression. Yet, Shakespeare's legacy extends beyond the English-speaking world. His works have been translated into over 100 languages. His themes, love, power, betrayal, are universal. Wherever there is passion, ambition, or heartbreak, Shakespeare's voice can be heard. His plays have been performed in nearly every nation, adapted to countless cultures, and reimagined in forms as diverse as opera, film, and even graphic novels. Shakespeare is the rare writer who belongs not just to one country, but to the world. Cervantes' Quixote, however, became the symbol of idealism itself. The term quixotic is used globally. His story speaks to the dreamer in all of us, tilting at impossible windmills. Don Quixote is the eternal optimist, the believer in beauty and justice, even when the world says otherwise. In a sense, Cervantes gave us the courage to dream, to challenge the status quo, and to find dignity in the pursuit of impossible ideals. In their lifetimes, neither man achieved immense wealth from their writings. Both died poor. Ironically, both died in April 1616, a coincidence often romanticized, though it's complicated by differing calendars. Yet, their true wealth is measured not in coins, but in the generations they have inspired, the cultures they have shaped, and the enduring relevance of their words. Let's talk style. Shakespeare's writing is poetic, dense, and layered with metaphors. Each line can be unpacked for hidden meanings. His plays are often puzzles for the mind, rewarding careful reading and deep contemplation. Shakespeare's mastery of blank verse and inventive imagery made his language at once accessible and profound, a feast for both the heart and the intellect. Cervantes, meanwhile, wrote in prose. His style is straightforward yet sharp, combining humor and depth seamlessly. He brought realism into fiction, making characters feel human, flawed, and relatable. Cervantes strips away pretense, using irony and wit to expose folly, hypocrisy, and the struggles of ordinary life. His prose invites us to laugh, to weep, and to recognize ourselves in the adventures and misadventures of his characters. In terms of output, Shakespeare wrote around 39 plays and 154 sonnets. Cervantes, although best known for Don Quixote, penned novellas, plays, and poetry as well. Both demonstrated an astonishing breadth of talent, crafting works that continue to be studied, adapted, and celebrated. Yet, it's not quantity that matters here, but impact. Shakespeare's Hamlet is often called the greatest play ever written, but Don Quixote holds the title of the greatest novel. Each work stands at the summit of its form, setting a standard against which all others are measured. Thematically, Cervantes explored disillusionment and reality versus fantasy. Shakespeare wrestled with power, identity, morality, and the nature of existence itself. Both writers delved into the complexities of the human soul, revealing truths that transcend time and place. Cervantes gave us the dreamer who couldn't see reality. Shakespeare gave us Hamlet, who saw reality too clearly and became paralyzed by it. Two sides of the same human struggle, one blinded by hope, the other by doubt. Through their characters, they mapped the boundaries of faith and despair, action and hesitation, illusion and truth. What about cultural influence? In the English-speaking world, Shakespeare is nearly deified. His works are standard in education. But in the Spanish-speaking world, Cervantes holds a similar revered place. Each is a cornerstone of their respective cultures, shaping the way their people think, speak, and imagine. And yet globally, Shakespeare often edges Cervantes in recognition. His works have inspired more adaptations, from film to theater, from opera to modern novels. Shakespeare is the universal storyteller, his influence woven into the very fabric of global culture. But perhaps comparing them misses the point. Each reshaped their own literary worlds. Each gave us new ways to see humanity itself. Their differences are what make them great. Shakespeare, the master of drama. Cervantes, the father of the modern novel. Together, they remind us that literature has many faces, and that its true power lies in the ability to inspire, to challenge, and to unite. So, who wielded the mightiest pen? Was it Shakespeare, the master of drama, or Cervantes, the father of the modern novel? Perhaps the truest answer lies in your hands. Which literary giant do you think changed the world more profoundly? Comment below and join the debate. And if you love exploring the battles of history's greatest minds, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Curious Order. Let's keep curiosity alive.